I want to give you 5 insider secrets to increasing testosterone fast without TRT or expensive drugs. Most guys think you need TRT to boost your testosterone, but there's lots of little hacks out there that you can do naturally that work just as well. I want you to try these for at least 2 months, and I bet you'll feel like a new man. Guys, if you're over 40, chances are your testosterone levels are slowly declining. And most guys may not know this, but we get older, and when I say older, I mean over the age of 30, our testosterone levels typically decline 1 to 2% per year. That's just normal, that's natural, okay? So if you're 40, 50, 60, just think how much your T levels might have dropped from back in your prime. So I'm gonna give you 5 little tricks you can do to help minimize your decline in testosterone levels. And for some of you guys, it's gonna actually make your testosterone really take off because your T levels are probably already in the dumps. All right, trick number 1 centers around your workouts. And when I say workouts, I'm talking about resistance training, weight training, not cardio. I want you guys to focus on making your workouts shorter and more intense. Just get after it. You don't need to be in the gym for an hour, hour and a half, okay? I really cut back on the length of my workouts, but they're still hard, okay? I'm still lifting hard. I'm lifting heavy. I'm lifting to failure or near failure on most of my sets. I'm just keeping the volume down. I'm not doing 20 sets of chest, all right? I did that when I was younger. Doesn't work anymore. So keep your workout short and to the point. All right, number 2, guys, is you need better sleep. All right. So the vast majority of our testosterone is actually made at night while we are asleep. All right. So if you're not getting good, deep, restful sleep, you're not producing nearly as much testosterone as your body could. All right. Now, this video isn't about how to get better sleep, but we have a bunch of videos on this channel. So just use that little search feature and type in sleep, and that whole video will give you all kinds of little tricks on how to improve your sleep. But sleep is absolutely critical. All right, guys, number 3, you gotta minimize stress. And this, of course, is easier said than done. So when you get stressed out, and I don't mean just for an hour or two stress, I'm talking about kind of chronic stress. Your body starts to produce a hormone called cortisol. And unfortunately, the more cortisol your body produces, the less testosterone you can produce. So both of those, testosterone and cortisol, compete for the same enzyme. So there's only a certain amount of that enzyme that your body produces. And so if it's being used to create cortisol, then that means there's just less left over for testosterone. So find a way, whatever it is, to reduce your stress. And of course, this ties back into number 2. If you can get plenty of sleep, that will also help lower your stress levels. All right, tip number 4 is just give a supplement a try. We make something called Testo Chews, and it's designed specifically to help with cortisol, guys that are stressed out. It helps lower your cortisol production, which of course, like I just mentioned a minute ago, increases your testosterone production. And you know, we recommend you take it right before bed. We think it'll also help you with your sleep. So it's a double whammy, but give it a try. I would say maybe 2 months, all right? Kind of like I mentioned in the introduction. You need to try these 5 tips for 2 months and compare how you feel at the end of 2 months with how you feel now. And you might even take some notes. Just write some of the things that you're experiencing right now. You know, maybe you're feeling tired, maybe it's hard to concentrate, maybe your libido is kind of down in the dumps, maybe your workouts aren't very good. Just write it down so you remember before you start doing these 5 tips, okay? And then in 2 months, compare what you feel like then with your original notes, all right? Simple as that. All right, and tip number 5, I saved for the last because it is the hardest to do. And that is, guys, you gotta lose body fat. The problem is when you start putting on more and more fat, that fat produces an enzyme called aromatase. And aromatase, unfortunately, converts testosterone into estrogen. And now you got more estrogen in your body, which is the female hormone. And what does that do? That sends signals to your brain and your body, your hormones, to hold on to more fat, like women, okay? So now you got more fat that your body's holding on to, which produces more of that enzyme aromatase, which converts more of the testosterone into estrogen. And man, it's a self-reinforcing downward spiral. So 5 real simple things you guys can do to increase your testosterone without reverting to drugs or injections. And this isn't gonna happen overnight. This is a slow process, which means you gotta stick with it and never give up on yourself.